Good morning. Welcome to the Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press Inc., an Alternative Parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard. Today I read the case Sam Party of New York versus Kosinski, 987 F3D 267, Court of Appeals, 2nd Circuit, 2021. Friends, today we're going to talk about the Sam Party. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Sam Party, you might learn something about them. Friends, we did an interview with a Sam Party member on our podcast. Sam Party is a new party. So check out their website. You can do a Google search or you can go to their joinsam.org site. So friends, let's read what happened here. It says, quote, "The state of New York enacted new party qualification requirements in the spring of 2020. Political organizations must now earn the greater of 130,000 votes or 2% of the vote in the election for president and for governor to achieve party status and the automatic placement on the ballot it confers. Appellant Sam Party of New York and its chairman Michael J. Volpe appeal an order of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, Coidal J., denying their motion for a preliminary injunction against party qualification requirements." End quote. Good job, Sam Party. You've been around for 3 years and you're already doing what needs to be done to take our causes as high as they need to go. You're helping yourself and you're also helping other alternative parties. We love that, friends. Interestingly, this decision talks about what Sam Party does and their beliefs and their structure. So let me introduce you to the Sam Party this way if you've never been introduced to them before. It says, quote, "New York recently amended its election laws to condition status as a political party on an organization's performance in presidential elections. The Sam Party of New York, Sam Party, is a political organization that, for a mix of ideological and practical reasons, chose not to participate in the 2020 presidential election. It argues that the new presidential election requirement violates its First and 14th Amendment rights, but unless the burden on such rights is severe or unjustified, states may condition access to the general election ballot by a minor party or independent candidate upon showing a modicum of support among the potential voters for the office." End quote. And then it says, quote, "New York law distinguishes between political parties and independent bodies. Parties which have more popular support enjoy privileges but are subject to structural and filing requirements. One of the principal privileges of party status is a designated ballot line or berth. For several major offices, the winner of the party's nomination process is automatically included on the ballot, but independent bodies seeking to place candidates on the ballot must gather the requisite number of signatures for each candidate. Parties also enjoy access to primaries administered by the government, automatic membership enrollment for voter registration forms, and permission to maintain a financial account exempt from ordinary contribution limits to pay for office space and staff." End quote. So you're saying, friends, what's this part about introduction to the Sam Party? We're getting there. So let me read that to you. It says, quote, "The Sam Party describes itself as a new kind of candidate-focused, process-driven political party, rather than one predicted on shared substantive policy positions or ideologies. SAM stands for Serve America Movement, and the SAM Party subjects candidates for village, town, county, regional, and statewide offices to a scorecard based on the 4 pillars of transparency, accountability, electoral reform, and problem solving." End quote. There you go, friends. That sounds like a great philosophy for a political party. So they resonate to some extent with me, and I trust they resonate to some extent with you. They resonate to some extent with me, and they resonate to a lot of extent with me. So let's also discuss what they talked about here. They talked about how a political party is different than a political organization, and that's important. If you're running for office, you're filing forms, you want to be a political party, usually that's the best thing. The second best thing here would be a political organization. The Sam Party, as it says here, invoked their First and 14th Amendment rights. We love to see that. As I've been saying again and again on this podcast, a lot of parties are doing that in these cases. As we discussed, they also talk about what are the rewards for being deemed a party. And that can motivate us to become a party. It doesn't guarantee that. Motivation doesn't guarantee we'll get it, but it's something we can look to. And those perks would be great. So friends, let's strive for that. So friends, what do you think about the Sam Party? If you've heard about them before, I trust you like them. If you heard about them now, I trust you are digesting this. This case also talks about the Sam Party's strategy. It says, quote, the Sam Party decided not to cross-nominate Donald Trump or Joseph Biden because doing so would be brand suicide, tagging itself forever with a set of positions on hot-button issues it has to this point eschewed. It also determined that running its own candidate for president would be futile because the Sam Party is organized as an official party only in New York. End quote. Good job that they don't support either of those two people. On their podcast, American Resolution, they denounce Donald Trump a lot. And they talk about how some people, a lot of people in the Republican Party have been Republicans for their whole life. And then Donald Trump came along and they don't want to be a part of this party anymore. It's sad, friends, what that man did to the Republicans. The case mentions that because Sam Party is arguing this is a burden, the Conservative Party and the Working Families Party did get on the ballot and they did meet these requirements. So therefore, the Sam Party doesn't have a leg to stand on, it says. But you might think differently. So what do you think, friends? Do you think the Sam Party should get their wishes here? The Sam Party makes an interesting point about the presidential race. It says, quote, according to the Sam Party, the presidential election requirement is too blunt an instrument to gauge whether an organization has that modicum of support among the New York electorate. But popular vote totals in the last election are a proper measure of public support, end quote. So friends, do you agree with that? Do you think that is valid? I like this argument line because it makes an excellent point. Some people on our side will say, good afternoon. Our Long Live Third Parties podcast. Our candidates can sometimes win local elections and possibly statewide elections, but it's very impossible, if not totally impossible, to win the presidential election. So they might not poll well in the presidential election, but they might poll okay in a certain state. So that seems to me a valid point. The court argues this situation does not violate the First Amendment of Sam Party because they can still be a party in a sense, not in the legal sense like we mentioned above. In New York, a political party has a certain requirement, but they can be a party in the sense of being a political organization. So, did the court rule in our favor? What do you think? The way it's been sounding, what do you think? Well, let me read. It says, quote, for the reasons set forth above, the district court's judgment is affirmed, end quote. Unfortunately, the Sam Party did not get on the ballot here, but they did fight the good fight. They're up and coming, and we are probably going to see a lot of great things coming out from them, just as we have been seeing a lot of great things coming from them. So friends, let us be like the Sam Party and fight. Fight, fight, fight when opportunity comes. How will you do this, friends? How will you do this? Long live alternative parties. Goodbye.